Hello guys, the Enduring Name here with my second video on how to create Black Ops 2 emblems. Today I'm going to be creating an NFL logo, and it's going to be the Houston Texans NFL logo. So get ready for that. Hopefully a lot of people will enjoy this video and want to create this emblem, given that they're 11-1 as of making this video. So yeah, it kind of speaks for itself. I am personally a fan of the Falcons, and I'm quite happy that they're 11-1 as well, and I'll be showing you how to create that logo later. But for now, the Texans. So essentially, this video might be a little meticulous. I tend to use a lot of small tools to create the logo that on the surface looks simplistic, but because I'm kind of a perfectionist, I'm going the whole 9 yards and trying to get every little inch correct. So just bear with it, but by the end of the video, if you followed all my steps, you should have a really good looking logo. So right now I'm just doing like a white background. It's essentially going to serve as the white outline you see in the actual logo. It'll take a little bit to create, and honestly some of the moves might not seem very intuitive. It might seem that I'm using too many small pieces to put it all together, but again, it's somewhat meticulous because that's kind of who I am and what strategy I use. By the way, as you've probably noticed, the horn on the left is, it kind of looks like a double horn. Kind of looks odd. I'll fix that later in the video. Essentially, I'm going to add a background, like a blue background, and then I'm going to cover that little white part up with like another blue tool. But for now, I'm not worried about it. I just want to get the background done so that I can move on to the bulk of the actual picture. Keep in mind, guys, that obviously this video is sped up 4 times its original speed. Don't expect to create it as fast as I'm creating it, or as I'm seemingly creating it in this video. Just take your time with it, and also try, like, I know it's sped up, but try to realize that I make some distortions of the shapes here and there. So when you're using your tools, don't just use that bare tool. You're gonna have to change the size. You're probably gonna have to like go into the freescale selection that they give you and distort the image a little bit to really get it to work out. If you don't do that, then you're really gimping yourself. Alright. By the way, guys, right here, I think I copied and pasted a little bit right here. I do that throughout the video for some of the tools, for some of the pieces. So try to pay attention to when I copy and paste. It'll be evident when I do it, because when you copy and paste something, a little box, like a little small box with whatever tool you just copied, will appear right next to the logo, right next to the right side of the logo. So pay attention to that. Essentially, I just did it right there. Essentially, when I copy and paste, I just need that tool, and then I'll distort it to how I need it. When I copy and paste, I don't just use the exact image that I'm copying. I distort it afterward. But it's just a faster way of selecting that tool, so that I don't have to go into the actual tool menu and scroll through all those tools to find it. Also, notice that the shade of blue right now, as it stands in the Texans logo, is lighter. It's a lighter shade of blue than what the actual logo is. I just did that while making the logo because it's easier to, it's a better contrast, especially between like the background and that blue. Like if I were to use the dark blue, it's just a little more confusing, and I go back and I do fix that later in the video, so keep that in mind. And of course, you could always use your own colors, use whatever colors you need. But to get the true Texans logo, it's got to be a little bit darker than that. Through the course of this video, by the way, I've already said I make distortions of some of the images. I also go back to some of the the previous tools that I've already made, and I tweak them a little bit. And that's just par for the course. You're never gonna get it right the first time. You gotta go back sometimes and just tweak things that you've already done, and definitely feel comfortable doing that, because it's necessary. Like right here, I try using certain tools to smooth out that middle line, that middle white line, and I fail several times, but what do? I just go back, find the right tool, tweak it, and I'm home free. Like right, I think I just got it right there. That's what I wanted. So now that I've done the background layer, you'll see me in a second go and change that top left horn. That really needs changing, or editing, not necessarily overall changing, but some editing, and you'll see exactly how I pull it together. Essentially just take a white, like I think they call a waving flag, and then a blue waving, and kind of like line it up with what you would want the outline to be, and then take the blue waving flag. Actually, I copied and pasted the white one and then made it blue, and then laid it over that little top piece of horn. To smooth it out. Alright, well, I'm almost done here. The last thing to do really is make a couple tweaks, and then of course change the color. And what I do actually at the very end is I give it kind of a highlight, and frankly I love that. And the way you do it, by the way, is just you choose some white tool, and then you lower the opacity to a low number, and then you lay it over your picture, and it will make even a shoddy picture look really well, like almost professional. So keep that in mind. It's a good tip to know. Alright guys, well that pretty much does it. Stay tuned for more videos. I certainly plan to release more NFL logo videos. I have the Atlanta Falcons in store, and the Broncos and Green Bay. I'm taking suggestions as well. Of course, not only of NFL logos, but of cartoon characters, Goku, Gohan, whatever. So that's it guys, hope you enjoyed it.